The Gospel reading for Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and to go ahead of him to the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. After he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into the mountain by himself to pray. When evening had come, he was there alone. But the boat was now in the middle of the sea, distressed by the waves, for the wind was contrary. In the fourth watch of the night, Jesus came to them, walking on the sea. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It's a ghost," and they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Cheer up, it is I. Don't be afraid." Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the waters." He said, "Come." Peter stepped down from the boat and walked on the waters to come to Jesus. But when he saw that the wind was strong, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, saying, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus stretched out his hand, took hold of him, and said to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got up into the boat, the wind ceased. Those who were in the boat came and worshipped him, saying, "You are truly the Son of God." When they had crossed over, they came to the land of Gennesaret. When the people of that place recognized him, they sent into all that surrounding region and brought to him all who were sick. And they begged him that they might just touch the fringe of his garment. As many as touched it were made whole. This is the word of the Lord. When we consider Jesus walking on troubled waters, as depicted in Matthew 14, verses 25 to 27, it is not merely a miraculous event, but a profound metaphor for our own journey of faith and the challenges that we face in life. In this passage, the disciples are caught in the midst of a stormy sea, feeling lost and afraid, much like many of us might feel when we encounter unexpected difficulties or hardships. The image of Jesus walking on water symbolizes his presence amidst chaos and distress. It is not about him defying the laws of nature, but rather showing that he is above and beyond our circumstances, capable of calming our fears and restoring peace in the midst of turmoil. This divine intervention invites us to recognize that no matter how turbulent life may seem, Jesus remains present and available to help us navigate through. In modern times, this can translate to a variety of situations, from personal crises like health issues or financial struggles to broader social challenges, such as political instability or global pandemics. The disciples' response to seeing Jesus on the water, fear followed by recognition and worship, reflects our own journey from doubt to faith. Peter's bold yet faltering step onto the waters, symbolizing his attempt at faith despite fear, mirrors our own tentative steps toward trust in God when faced with uncertainty. Jesus' question to Peter, "Why did you doubt?" is not a rebuke, but an invitation for us to examine where we place our trust during storms. It challenges us to acknowledge that even amidst doubts and fears, he is there, ready to offer his hand if we call out to him. When the wind ceases upon Jesus' arrival, it signifies the peace and calm brought by divine intervention in our lives. This passage encourages believers to look beyond their immediate circumstances and recognize the presence of a God who not only walks alongside us, but also has the power to bring calm and restoration when we least expect it. As we delve into the passage where Jesus walks on water and encounters his disciples amidst their distress, we find a profound narrative of divine intervention that speaks to our faith and its challenges in turbulent times. The moment when Peter steps out from the boat onto the waves is particularly instructive for us today. Just as Peter's faith faltered when he saw the wind's strength, so too do we often face moments where fear takes precedence over trust. In this context, Jesus' call to cheer up and his reassurance that it is truly him are a clarion call to believers everywhere. It is an invitation for us to recognize the presence of God in our struggles and to step out into the uncertainties with faith, knowing that Christ walks beside us. This story teaches us about the importance of acknowledging our weaknesses and doubts while also trusting in the power of divine intervention. In modern life, this message resonates deeply as we navigate through personal challenges, societal upheavals, or moments when it seems like everything is against us. Like Peter, we often start strong but falter at the first sign of adversity. Yet Jesus' hand reaches out to lift us up and restore our faith. His question to Peter, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" echoes in every believer's heart, prompting a reflection on how much trust we truly place in God. As the disciples worship Jesus upon their safe return to land, acknowledging him as the Son of God, so too must we recognize and reverence his presence in our lives. In moments of distress, when the winds seem contrary and the waters turbulent, let us remember that Jesus is with us, guiding and supporting us through life's storms. This passage invites us not only to seek refuge in faith, but also to actively reach out and claim the divine promises that sustain us. When we face our own Genesaret moments, times of recognition and healing, it becomes clear how deeply interconnected our spiritual journeys are with those around us. We are called not just to receive comfort from Christ, but also to extend it, sharing his grace and healing touch with others who seek solace in their trials. The healing touch and trust are central themes that shine through in this passage from Matthew 14, verses 22 to 36. When Jesus returned to the land of Gennesaret after walking on water, people recognized him and brought all their sick to be healed by touching just the fringe of his garment. This act encapsulates a profound truth about faith and trust in God's power. It is not always about grand gestures or dramatic displays. Often, it is the quiet, everyday moments of reaching out that make a difference. In our lives today, we can see this principle at work when someone simply reaches out for help, whether through prayer, a conversation, or even a small gesture of kindness. Imagine a person struggling with addiction who finally calls a friend in need of support and encouragement. Or consider the parent who holds their child's hand during a moment of fear or uncertainty, offering comfort and strength. These acts are not always grand or visible to others, but can be deeply transformative. The people who sought Jesus' healing did so not because they had seen miracles with their own eyes, but because they trusted in his word and power. This trust is what allowed them to find relief from suffering. Similarly, when we reach out for help today, whether it's seeking counsel or holding on to faith during difficult times, that act of reaching out itself can be a profound expression of trust. Trusting God means acknowledging our limitations and turning to him in our moments of weakness. As we reflect on this passage, let's remember the power of small acts of faith and trust. In our modern world filled with challenges and uncertainties, these quiet acts of seeking help or offering support can bring about healing and transformation. Just as those who touched Jesus' garment were healed, so too can we find ourselves transformed through the simple yet powerful act of reaching out in faith. The scene unfolds with Jesus and his disciples crossing over to the other side of the sea, a journey marked by turbulence, both literal and figurative. The boat is tossed about by strong winds, mirroring the storms that often rage within our hearts and minds as we navigate life's challenges. Yet, amidst this turmoil, Jesus walks on water, symbolizing his divine presence and power to calm even the most tumultuous situations. In this moment of crisis, the disciples look out over the sea, their fear palpable as they see a figure walking toward them. It is then that Jesus calls out to encourage them, telling them not to be afraid because he is there. This interaction teaches us about the importance of community in faith. The disciples are not alone. They are part of a larger story and a supportive community. In our modern lives, this can translate to leaning on friends, family, and fellow believers when we face overwhelming circumstances. Peter's bold move to walk on water alongside Jesus illustrates another facet of communal support. While Peter's confidence wanes as he focuses more on the storm than his Lord, it is Jesus who reaches out a hand to save him. This shows that even in our weakest moments, God remains steadfast and ready to rescue us when we cry out for help. The scene concludes with the disciples recognizing Jesus' divine nature after being saved from the sea's perilous waves. They worship him, acknowledging his authority over all things. In today's context, this act of worship can be seen as a recognition that in our communities, whether they are religious or secular groups bound by common struggles and aspirations, there's an underlying acknowledgement of something greater than ourselves at work. As the boat reaches the shore on the other side, it marks not just physical passage, but also a spiritual transformation. The people who recognize Jesus bring their sick to be healed, demonstrating how healing spreads through communities when individuals share their faith and experiences. This crossover experience teaches us that our journeys, marked by both trials and triumphs, are meant to inspire others around us, fostering a circle of hope and redemption.
Thank you for listening to today's video from the Spoken Word of God. Please like and subscribe for more daily spiritual content and share this video with your friends and loved ones.